here it is. It's home. Buddy of mine helped me get it to the house, and this thing's heavy. Looked online, and the best I could figure it was just under 10,000 pounds, but I'm pretty sure it's more than that. But yeah, we got it chained down pretty good, and that's his truck. He just pulled it to the house and walked home. He lives right over there. But yeah, we worked a total of about 15 hours to get this thing onto this trailer. I didn't video any of it, but I do have pictures of our progress, a little at a time. I'll try to stick them somewhere if somebody wants to see it. But essentially what we did is we took these pieces of steel that we had and we welded them to the machine. I can just carbon arc gouge that off, but it gave us kind of like something to slide it on. Now that I've got it home, I'm actually going to pick it up, come across here, and give myself something up here, because it wants to fall forward mostly, not really backwards, but forwards. All of your weight is here. If you look at the way it's set up, you have these steel plates here, and these things are 1.5 inches, 2 inches thick. So, but if you notice, there's nothing on the back at all in the back, but on the front, you have got all of this. So all of your weight is pulling this thing forward, and the center of gravity on this thing is pretty much right here. If you pick it up, there's a strap. Let's see if I can get over there to it. Ow. Right here. So this is actually the lift point of the machine. There's the hydraulic cylinder. So it works off of actually the same principle. I was going to build one. I was drawing it up in CAD and everything. And I was actually going to build one of these using this exact same principle. But I ended up not doing that because I got this one. The other ones that we have at the office use 2 cylinders. This uses 1. But you get the idea. But yeah, we got her chained down. Like I said, it took about 15 hours to get it moved across the warehouse and up onto the trailer. The majority of that was getting it picked up and put on the trailer. I left all my tools at the office. I've got to go get that and clean up my mess today. But we used 4 floor jacks, my toe jack, 2 what do you call these things? Pallet jacks, and a ton of blocks, oak blocks, pine blocks, every wooden block we could get our hands on. And we basically just inched it up off the ground. So we, had the trailer in here like this, and we just kind of picked up the entire machine and suspended it until we could get the leading edge of our little sled sitting on the trailer. So this right here and that, we got it on the trailer about that much, then came around the machine and started pulling with that little strap jack. And I'm telling you, if you've ever used a come along and know how annoying they are and how aggravating they are to use, this little jack I have a whole new respect for. I've got several of these, and I've got a bigger version, but this is the only one I had on my truck at the time when we were moving it. Should have planned ahead, but I think it's a 1-ton. And I ran it through a snatch block and came back to the chain. So we ran a chain around here and went back and just inched it forward until we got it up on here. So we got it all the way up on right over top of the axles. When I got this trailer, it had an axle here and here, but nothing here. So I actually added this axle with brakes on it because The other two don't have brakes, so I'm eventually going to replace one of these other axles with the brake axle, but as of right now, it works. But yeah, this thing's pretty cool. And I also put these things on here so I can basically pick up the front of the trailer. So the way I think I'm going to unload it, as you can see, the back of this trailer is right about here, right below my knee. It's my super accurate measuring device. And that's going to put us, if I back the trailer up, to maybe a foot above the concrete. I think what I can do is back the trailer up through here and get it just above the concrete, and do basically what I did in reverse. Pull it backwards, clean up all these bricks, take I've got a little geo tracker, put it here. I've got a winch that goes in my trailer hitch that I can use to come through here, through a snatch block, back to the tracker, and just slowly tug this thing off until I get the back part of this off of the trailer. So, you know, once I get the edge of the machine, so this edge of the machine to the back of the trailer, I'll have 1.5 feet or so of these sticking off. And then I can bridge across a pallet jack, pick up that part, and just slowly edge it back until I then get, you know, say that much on the trailer. So then that gives me a surface here that I can jack up to, barely pick it up above the trailer, pull the trailer out from under it, and then block it down. Once I get it blocked down, use pallet jacks and whatever else I need to move it over here. Aggravating part is I'm going to have to actually turn it around, so that's going to be interesting. It's more work than you would think with something this heavy, to do it safely and not kill yourself. So let's see, there's all the hydraulics. So you've got a hydraulic, there's a motor, there's the pump, and there's all the stuff. Let's see if I can get up there, get you a better look at this thing. Here we go. So here's the tank, here's the pump. So you've got a there's the in right there coming out of the tank, and there's the out. Basically what I've got to do is come out of the tank with a different pump, and I may leave this one exactly like it is, exactly where it is, and just go in right here. So take this loose, cap it, jump down. This is a little hairy. Oh. So cap that piece and just leave that in place for now. But do that. Now the next thing I've got to figure out, so you've got these two switches. Apparently you can set your upper and lower extremes with this thing if you wanted to. So, you know, it's going to go up a certain distance and hit, let's see, is there a switch down here? Yeah, there's a switch down here that this sets. So I can move this around if I want to, and you can hear it clicking that. I can do the same thing here, but then I've also got an adjustment here. So you can micro adjust that switch using this. I'll probably use this to begin with, but I've got to figure out how that works. Let's see here. There we go. So I've got a transformer transformer here, and I had 480 hooked here. I think this transformer is dropping everything down to 110, which is what's powering all of everything else. It's actually pretty simple if you think about it. But I think what I'm going to end up having to do is run single phase in and power all of this somehow. So that's going to be my switches and all the stuff that actually runs everything up here. This was to run specifically the motor. So you can see this comes into here, that goes out to there. And then you got some really small wires that are running into this transformer. Again, I'm pretty sure, well, actually, yeah, 240 volt versus 480. So I can run 240 into the top of this. So I can disconnect this transformer, run me a pigtail in here, and basically run 240 to this. And all of my controls should work correctly. They should work the way it worked before, which leaves me the problem of having hydraulic power, which again, I'll replace all of this with something that I can do what I need with. So I'll end up mounting probably a VFD somewhere and running wires from the VFD up to a motor. And I'm really not sure where I'm going to mount a motor yet. I may even mount one down here and just run hydraulic lines up. Just something that I can easily get to. Or I could even mount it on the side here and just run a suction and another line into the tank. So if I do that, probably $500-600, I'll be able to run this on single phase power. It will run slower. One thing I'm considering though is a 2-stage pump. So I don't know if you've seen them, but you know, a single stage pump is the same speed no matter what. So you're going to go up and down the same speed. 2-stage for like log splitters, things like that. It goes really fast at a low pressure, and as soon as it hits resistance, it'll kick over to its high pressure side. So you can get 3000 psi eventually, but it quickly goes to where it needs to go and then does its work, switches over to single stage, does its work, and then quickly comes back up. And honestly, I think that would be a good application for this, but I don't know. So that might be something I end up doing or even playing with, and that's another reason I may put some of this stuff here. Plus, as far as weight distribution goes, it'd be kind of cool where I could, you know, maybe mount it here vertically. So mount a motor here, mount a hydraulic pump here, have the lines going up. That does put a little bit more weight towards the back end and also on the bottom. Whether that'll help at all or not, I don't know. I could even do it on the inside here. Because, you know, this is where all this is. Now, one thing I may do is redo these completely. Take all of this completely out. And if I do that, so I can get an R-axis. So with press brake, your R-axis is your up and down here. Your, I can't remember which one's which, but there's an axis that goes this way. And then there's an axis that goes this way. So you'd have like X1 and X2. And then I think there's another one. I think it's Z, but I can't remember, that goes this way. So you can have Z1 and Z2 as well. Or maybe it's X1 and X2. I don't know. But I'd have to fiddle with it. But what I'd like to do is automate at least the axes. And then up here, let's see. Okay. Wow, those are some big old lines. So right here, where this line is, that's going to be what actually does the work. Find a way to tee into this line right here, and then I could have a, what do you call it, a transducer, hydraulic transducer, which is basically a potentiometer that will more or less, you got 3 wires,
One of them is your power end, so I think it's 15 volts or 12 volts or something like that that you put into your third wire. Your second one is your first wire. Your second one is ground, and then your third is your signal wire. And essentially, as the pressure increases, you're going to go from 0 volts here at 0 psi to 15 volts at its highest reading. So what I could do is come in. I want to tee into it anyway, where I can put a pressure gauge. So down here somewhere, run out here somewhere, and maybe make myself a little bracket or whatever. Maybe even up here. Maybe up here, or even, this is sheet metal. Hang on, my phone's acting stupid. Okay. Anyway, this is sheet metal, so I might have a display of a pressure sensor and my transducer mounted in the same thing, which I can then set up to where it comes down and I can set a pressure. So I can tell it, hey, at 6.2 volts, which is going to be the equivalent to this PSI, I want you to go back up. So then it can go back up and more or less reset, and I can set by pressure instead of by distance, which is more accurate, I believe. But this thing's pretty cool. Look at this. It's got a little counter thing on it, so you can count your parts, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how that's supposed to work, but I can't even see. My phone for some reason is completely there we go. Now I can see. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted you to see it and get an idea of how I'm going to try to get this thing off of here. I can't afford to have people rig stuff in like we do at work. So I get to do it all by myself, which is fantastic. Well, when I say all, I've got a friend. Like I said, we spent 15 hours getting that thing on that trailer, and that's how you know a good friend. I mean, we've been friends for 16, 17 years now. I ended up moving over next to him because we're always doing stuff together. So he's literally right behind my house over there. But yeah, we got this thing to the house. So now it's just a matter of getting it off here and retrofitting. So have a great day. Just a little quick update.